crochet cute things. I've been smiling so hard while preparing to film this video that my cheeks actually kind of hurt, but I'm so insanely happy because there are literally 300,000 of you creative, beautiful, amazing people subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I've been creating YouTube tutorials for about a year now, and I thought that it was finally time to make a video that compiled all my favorite yarns that I loved using for different projects and where to buy them from. If you're just looking for really good yarns, I'm going to show you my favorites. I use them for nearly all of my projects. I'd also love to hear, since when you guys have been following me, which project you found me from. What was the first project you made from my channel? I'm so insanely happy, and I think this is such a good opportunity to connect with you guys a little bit more. All right, let's jump right into it. I've got my laptop here so that I don't miss out on any of the yarns. Let's start off with the yarn that I use for my most popular projects, like the Emma book cover, the Love Letter book sleeve, cake tissue box, heart pillow. Basically any of my projects that have this sort of soft, slightly shiny look to them. I'm gonna be very honest and tell you guys straight up that I have sort of been gatekeeping this yarn because I use these shades so much because the yarn itself is super versatile. It can work for anything. But yeah, I have been gatekeeping a little bit because I know that it's gonna sell out, but it's time. It's the Circular Pull 100% acrylic yarn. These two are my favorite shades ever. If you take a quick scroll through my feed, you know those are the yarns that I love using the most. This yarn pairs perfectly with a 3.5, 4 or 4.5 millimeter hook. This yarn is my go-to for making accessories, for making small pencil cases, for making decorative covers, for making anything that I want to have this sort of soft, glowy look to it. I always purchase the 200 gram skein, and it's such good value because I got one skein all the way back in September, and I was still using it until December to make all of my cute little projects that I've put out during that time. I even used it to make a top, and it was pretty breathable. It wasn't super itchy, and I would use it again. However, I would recommend that you use this yarn mostly for accessories. I think you can find better yarn for clothing. Where to purchase this from? I get it from handmake.com. This used to be yarnsdubai.com, so when I moved to Dubai, this was the first yarn that I purchased, and I stuck to it. I use the website very often. They've got a great collection, so definitely check out the website because it is my go-to whenever I'm looking for new yarns. On that same note, Circular also has a bunch of really good yarns. For example, there is this value pack of Duna. It's around 700 grams, and handmake.com actually sent me a bunch of yarns, and this was included in them. Let me show you guys. I got the whole box because my toxic trait is not unboxing any of the yarn that I get until I finished up my other yarn. So I just have these huge boxes laying around my room, and that is why you guys will probably never get a room tour. And I stuff it with random things that I can't find space for anywhere else. Basically, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, it's not Duna, it's Barocco. I feel like if you have any large clothing projects, these value packs are like these large skeins of yarn are so perfect for it. I really love this shade because I feel like it's so perfect for making natural toned clothing, and I'm going to be using it for lots of my fall clothing pieces that are coming soon. So yeah, handmake.com has a lot of yarns, and I highly recommend that website. So if you don't get anything else from this video, then you definitely got that website on your radar, at least. Still sticking with Circular, I also purchased this really pretty batik yarn. It has some really gorgeous shades that I think are so me, and I'm going to use this to make a mesh pullover. And the texture of this is very similar to the Circular Pull that I like using, so I'm really happy about that. It's super soft. It's not anti-piling, so it is a bit woolly. I don't know the right adjectives to use in this situation, but it's really pretty, and it feels nice, and it feels soft, so I'm gonna probably use this for a mesh pullover. Then, not moving on because I forgot my favorite circular yarn ever. I used this in my recent jar video, and I think I forgot to mention that I used it, so I didn't mention it, but this is Circular Happy. It's gorgeous. It has this, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it has this really lovely glowy sheen to it, and it's a fine yarn, so it would work with a 2 to 4 millimeter hook. It's gorgeous. So if you have any clothing pieces that you want to make something with like a lace effect, this would be amazing. They've got some beautiful shades. And again, the whole circular collection is available on handmake.com. So if you don't get any other unique yarn from this video, at least you got that one. Next, the yarn that I've been using the most of. I use this yarn religiously. It is affordable. It's available on Amazon. In every single one of my recent YouTube tutorials, you will hear me say, I used yarn from Yarn Art, and it is linked on my Amazon storefront. It's a cotton and acrylic mix, so once again, it's perfect for making accessories. However, it is a little bit thicker than circular pull, so it makes it more sturdy. So while I would use circular pull for more delicate accessories or accessories that I don't want to be or don't need to be that sturdy, I would use Yarn Art for the sturdier pieces. So I would use it for bags. It's the best yarn for bags in my opinion. I've made so many bags with this and it's worked out great. They're not super flimsy. They have some sort of structure to them. They don't like flop around. This bag is completely made out of Yarn Art shades. So overall, this yarn isn't that soft. It's pretty matte, doesn't have a shiny texture to it, but it is a great option for making decor, room decor. You know what, just to show you guys how much I use this yarn. Yarn Art, all of those are Yarn Art. These are Yarn Art. Also, if you guys want to support my obsession with purchasing yarns, it would be so amazing if you guys could sign up for a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I share my top Skillshare picks every week on the community page, so you can find lots of quick and easy crochet classes on there that will teach you a lot of things. So for example, this unique doll making crochet class is so unique, and I'm actually taking it myself. I want to create a custom doll of myself. And if you have some time, please check out my mom's Skillshare class as well. She made a fall themed whimsical girl, so if you're into art, if you're into painting, definitely join her for that as well. If you don't know this about me and my mom run an art studio here in Bahrain, and one of my passions is arts and crafts, so it would be so great if you could head on to her class and show it a little bit of love. I got some of my pixel grid sleeves because I think they're such a great example of how similar yet different Yarn Art and circular pull are from each other. So for example, here in this butterfly Kindle sleeve, the background white is circular pull and the purple is Yarn Art, and look at that, they look very, very similar. Now I would say that Yarn Art is very, very slightly thicker than circular pull, but if you're working them together, the difference won't be that noticeable. Now over here, the pink is circular pull, the green is Yarn Art, the blue and white are circular pull. Circular pull is slightly more shiny. Another great example, everything is circular pull except for the red, which is Yarn Art. So Yarn Art definitely has a lot more shades to work with, so I would recommend it for some colors that are not available for a circular pull. However, I highly recommend working both of them together. They look great and work pretty well. Now, when it comes to fluffy yarn for amigurumi pieces, I've had some terrible experiences. So I'm a bit hesitant to give my recommendations because I haven't found the perfect yarn for amigurumi pieces yet. I feel like the ones that I have tried, they do shed. So what I usually do is I don't start off with a magic ring. I make a slip knot and I chain 3, and then I turn into a circle and insert my stitches into that circle instead of a magic ring, because I find that for most fluffy yarns, they do shed. So when you do a magic ring with them, when you pull the magic ring, the yarn just sheds off and it doesn't tighten. So even though I haven't found the perfect yarn for amigurumi yet, and I still have more to try, anything by Elise is always a good try. So Elise is also a very reputable yarn brand, and I always turn towards it when I can't find any other brand in the yarn shop that I'm in or online. I will always turn to Elise. So these plushies over here, the duck, the bear, and the bunny, most of it is made with Woolen's Baby Bunny. However, some of the shades, such as this cream color, is Elise, And this brown over here is Elise as well. But the rest of the plush yarn is woolens, and I didn't have that much of a difficult time working with it after the initial magic ring or starting round had been completed. The cardigan is yarn art. Over here, it's a mix of circular pull and yarn art. So if you're in doubt about which yarn to purchase, Elise is always a very safe option. They've got some really great lines. Honorable mention is Diva Plus. So if you don't want to, if you want sort of like a dupe or alternative for Circulo Happy, if you want a yarn that's fine, has this like glossy sheen to it, Elise has a line called Diva Plus that is very similar. So Diva Plus is very soft, has a pretty shine to it, and it would be great for clothing pieces or more delicate pieces that you want a little bit of something to it. So another good dupe for Circulo Happy is Nako Satan, and this is just a side-by-side comparison. It's pretty similar, so I've got purple. It has less of a shine, but apart from that, everything else is pretty similar. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I always use a 4.5mm hook with fluffy yarns. Most people use a 6mm hook. That's what I've observed whenever I'm watching other people crocheting amigurumis. But I like using a 4.5mm hook. I just feel like with fluffy yarn, it's really hard to see the stitches. So when I use a smaller hook size, it pulls the stitches in tighter, making them easier to see. So that's a little tip for if you're struggling with using fluffy yarn. But it's really up to preference at the end of the day. If you're looking for more unique hand-dyed yarn, I recently discovered King Fiber, and I've been obsessed with some of the shades that they have. I placed an order recently, but it hasn't arrived yet, and I'm beyond excited to show it to you guys soon, so I will be posting it on my Instagram as soon as it comes. And I managed to get on their affiliate program, so I can actually offer you guys a discount code. So you can use the code MOMCrochets for 5% off their incredible lines. Their glitter haze line, it's gorgeous. And for me, just looking at their wide variety of yarns gives me this like spark of inspiration. Use my discount code for 5% off. You're welcome. There is just one more yarn to mention, and this is actually a 100% merino wool by Hope's Wool. And the cardigan that I'm wearing today, I actually made it using Hope's Wool. Isn't it gorgeous? They've got some of the yummiest, prettiest shades. And for the past month, I've actually been working with them to create some crochet patterns. I've been obsessed with Hope Macaulay's brand, which is the sister brand to Hope's Wool. So I reached out to them and I want to create crochet patterns for your designs because they were coming out with knitting kits and patterns. And I thought that it would be so good if us crocheters weren't left out and if there were some crochet patterns out there as well. So there will be a crochet kit and pattern for this cardigan I'm wearing, as well as a pet sweater. So definitely keep an eye out on their Instagram. This is Neptune Blue, and it's so soft, really soft, and it's comfortable and it's warm. So if you're looking for wool for your winter projects, then definitely check out Hope's Wool. So support my obsession with yarn by signing up for a free membership of Skillshare using the link in the description. I get a small commission for every sign up, which I'm going to be putting towards all the yarns that I need to buy for the rest of the year. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in another video. Leave any questions that you have down below, and I will be creating an updated version of this once I find more yarns that I love and would want to share with you. Happy crocheting, everyone!